So, if you are someone who struggles with mental and emotional pain, if you feel like you need to go and see someone and possibly get diagnosed, if you are already a person who's been diagnosed with some form of mental or emotional illness like depression or anxiety or even ADD or ADHD, this video is for you. It is really common and really easy for us to see our mental and emotional struggles as something that shouldn't be happening, something that's wrong, something that needs to be fixed. And I understand the reasons why people feel that way. But I'd like to share something from my own personal experience that might help. I was depressed from a very young age. I struggled with symptoms of depression and anxiety probably from the time I was an adolescent, maybe 10, 11 years old and onward. I went to see counselors when I was in my early teens, and eventually as an adult ended up being diagnosed as everything from being depressed to having anxiety to being bipolar to ADD, ADHD. There were many diagnoses offered. I was even on medication for several years. But through all of that, I was still suffering. My symptoms really never got any better. They just became numb. So the medication that I was on eventually stopped working, in that it didn't even make me numb anymore. And I knew, even when I was on the medication, that there was something deeper going on. But the professionals that I was seeing said, no, you're just fighting the medication. You're going to have to take this the rest of your life. There's something out of balance. There's something wrong with you. There's something that needs to be medicated, and you're just one of those people. You're going to have to live on medication for the rest of your life, and you're going to have to accept this diagnosis. So I struggled with that for a really long time because, again, there was something inside of me saying, they're wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. They're wrong. And this medication doesn't make you feel right. And nothing that they're saying is making you feel better. Nothing that they're offering is really helping you. But again, because they were professionals, because they were doctors, and because that's what I was taught, I believed that they knew better than I did. Even though, again, everything in me was saying, there's nothing wrong with you. There's something deeper going on. So it took me to a very dark place. At one point in my life, I was going through a divorce. I was at that point feeling suicidal. And I finally broke down one day, and in the breakdown said out loud, I need help. Somebody has to help me, because I can't stay on this planet another minute if I have to keep feeling this way and if I can't get any relief. It was probably only 2 or 3 days later when I started to see the word Reiki everywhere. And I had never seen that word before in my life. I had no idea what it was or what it meant. But on all of my social media, on everything that I saw, everything that I came across, even in conversations, this word Reiki kept coming up. Reiki, Reiki, Reiki. And at that time, I had been searching for alternatives to medication and traditional healing for, again, mental illness. Sure enough, at some point I was led to take a class in Reiki. And although I was still struggling mentally and emotionally at that time, there was something about it that clicked. And there was something about it that made me feel like all of those things that I was wondering about, I was finally going to get some answers as to why I felt the way that I did and why I felt like I was suffering all the time. And I was fortunate enough at that time to have alternative healing specialists who helped me. And one in particular who said to me, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not mentally ill. You're just highly sensitive. You have extrasensory abilities that not everybody has or not everybody is aware of. And that's why you're struggling so much. You feel everything. And you know things that most people don't know. You can sense things. You can feel things. You can see things. You can hear things that other people can't. And that was the beginning of my journey. So I want to offer that to you today. That if there is any part of you that feels like there's something deeper going on than what everybody's telling you, and if there's a part of you that knows that you need to do something different, trust yourself. See you next time.